Hey everybody, it's the Sneaky Beagle and welcome back to the dojo. Today I'm going to be showing you how I went about mounting my sound foam that I got from Sound Assured. This video is not sponsored by Sound Assured, however I can tell you this is a fantastic product. The foam is super dense. This is not going to be a product review, it's a tutorial, but it's great stuff. So if you're looking for foam and you haven't bought it yet, great. I would look at Sound Assured. They have everything from 1-inch to 4-inch foam. They have bass traps for the corners. I mean, they literally have everything as far as acoustic foam goes. And I personally love the stuff. This is their 4-inch triangle foam. I just think it looks super clean, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. But stick around. We'll show you how I personally mounted it, and this is gonna be fun. Let's get into it. As a reminder, I do stream every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. So sneak on into the dojo, come babble with the Beagle that is Sneaky, ask me stream questions, ask me about foam, really whatever. Or just hang out and watch us meme and play video games. It's always a good time, and I'd love to have you. Okay, so here I have my box. I've already cut the 4 sides off, but you can see all I did was go to Staples and they have a small box. It's $1 and you can do 4 pieces of foam with this. And it's 12 by 12 by 12, which is perfect because we're gonna cut this to slightly smaller than that. So pretty much what we're gonna wanna do is, you can do 2 at a time, I have found, but you know, just lay your piece of foam on there to double check. And you can see it's pretty much perfectly right in the center of that. So what we want to do is just cut off, you know, roughly 1 inch. So what I'm going to do, any box cutter will work. I have this one for cutting carpet, and I just put like a regular triangle blade in here. But, you know, just grab a box cutter. And I'm going to start and just follow this inside edge right here. And I'm going to start just past where I want the cut to be and then pull straight back. Okay. I'm going to do the same, and it doesn't matter if you're slightly off. Again, I'll start just past the curve. You want to take your piece of foam, lay it down on your work surface. I'm just using this wire rack that I have, just because it's the right height. And then you can see, you actually might want it slightly smaller than this, because you don't want it peeking out on the corners at all. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just trim up, you know, one of these edges a little bit more. So then let's check that, and that looks pretty good. Again, it's not super square, but it's gonna hide it behind the foam, and then I can take my command strips and mount it right there. So that's how I did it. It made it super easy having a box that wasn't huge. So I just bought however many pieces of cardboard, however many boxes I needed for my foam. So you can get, again, 4 pieces of foam out of 1 box. And I just take those center parts out of it. So I will see you in the next step. All right, so we're about to get started on the glue up process. I have my prepped cardboard here, pre-cut, and I have my glue gun nice and hot. You definitely want to preheat it. Before you start, make sure you get a glue gun like this. This is the Hot Glue Gun GT80 from Arrow. It's about 20 bucks at Home Depot. I tried to use a cheap glue gun and it did not work. It wouldn't get the glue hot enough, and it didn't have enough in the chamber. So you definitely want a decent sized glue gun, because this is a pretty big square and you need to cover it. Also important, you need a tie-dye shirt, otherwise the glue won't adhere to the foam. Joking, obviously. So let's get started on the glue up. So one thing, I try to squeeze a decent amount into the corners. So I'll start down at each corner, and then I'll fill in the center, because if the center gets a little bit cool, it's not as big a deal. But you definitely want the corners nice and hot. Try to work a little bit quickly because you want the foam to definitely adhere to the hot glue. So then you pick up your square after you have it nice and coated. You see that? Lay your foam down flat, kind of pick it up on each end so that it lays perfectly flat, even on the points. Line it up. Press very lightly on the back of the foam so that you don't curve the piece of foam. Flip it back over and then press in every spot on the face of it. I like to use my fist because it just makes it a lot easier. And then you take your palms, press it down nice and hard in each area, and then you're done. And your cardboard is adhered very nicely to the back, and you can see I can pick it up just by the cardboard at this point. It is not 100% dry, but it is on there, and you're good. And then you can go ahead and mount this to your wall. So I will see you in the next step. Okay, so now that you have your cardboard mounted to the back of your foam, it's almost time to throw command strips on there and stick it to the wall. One thing before you go ahead and just start throwing random panels up is think about what pattern you'd like. I've already designed a pattern that I think is going to look good, and I actually found it on an Amazon review of this exact product. So you can get ideas like that, or you can search the web for foam panel designs, and you can see there's a bunch of different patterns that you can hang them up. But the important thing for any design is to find your center line and figure out exactly where your first panel is going to go, because every panel after that is going to be impacted by that first panel you place. So a couple ways we can do that. The first way, which is super old school, is just a tape measure, and you can measure over to the center line. And my center line is 52 inches. Okay, so what I would do then is make a mark above the foam panel at 52 inches and below it, so that when I'm mounting the foam panel, once there's command strips on here, I can turn it and get my center line of the foam panel, this corner and this corner, to align, because I'm actually mounting them diagonally. If you wanted to do it horizontally, you can measure to center and then measure the width of the panel. These are 12 inches, so you'd measure 6 inches on either side. That way you can get your first panel perfectly square. If you're not that anal, don't worry about it. Just put it somewhere close to the middle. But I would still recommend measuring. The second way that you can do it, which is I think personally the way we're gonna do it today, is get a nice long level and put it right on your center line. I'm doing it right on my webcam mount, like right on the center of the webcam mount. And then, make sure your level is perfectly between the two lines. And then you would just get a pencil and mark it above and below where your first panel is going to go. And then you can mount your panel that way. And then the third way, which we're going to do, which show you, is, jeez, come on, stay right there. One of these puppies, laser level, okay? So with one of these, you can set your laser line. You just punch a hole in the wall, and this will stick right in the wall, right above your center line. And then it goes in the wall like this, and it actually shows you exactly where your center line goes. And then you can mark directly on the wall. For me, it's either going to be this level or the laser level. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'll tell you what I did once we start actually mounting the foam panels in the next step. So I'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and take care of these dots, and I'll see you in the next part. Alright, so we're back. I have my line marked on my wall. I did end up using the large level. It was just easier for me to hold, and I didn't have to put an actual physical hole in the wall. So for me, that's just what I chose. Obviously, it's personal preference, but it was easy enough for me to hold it. And one thing to make sure of, use a really nice sharp construction pencil. You can just straighten it with a razor knife or whatever, shave it down. But, so I'm mounting my first panel, and it's going to go on the wall like this, at a diagonal. So when I'm going to put the command strips on here, make sure you pay attention to wall side versus construction paper or cardboard side, because you don't want to mess that up. So it's going to go on the wall at a diagonal like this. So what I'm going to do is put my command strip here and here so that it holds on either side, and we'll mount them just like that, and peel one side off and stick them to the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and get the first panel up, and then I will show you what it looks like. Alright, so you can see behind me I have my first panel mounted. It did take me a couple tries. It's not as easy as it looked, but the center line was definitely helpful because I was able to line up. I first sort of held it off the wall with my fingers and lined it up with the bottom line, and then I looked up at the top and sort of just rotated the top, attached the bottom, lightly pressed it in, make sure it was perfectly straight up and down, and then I pressed with my fist into the wall on all 4 of the points. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate this one. I just wanted to get that first one done off camera because that first one really impacts the whole project. So I have my command strips, and I already looked at how this one's gonna go. So this one's this way. Every teal one is gonna be the opposite direction. So that's gonna go just like that. So I'm gonna peel off these 4 command strips. And I did decide to go with 4, not 2, because 2 didn't really feel that secure. So 4 command strips in whatever pattern you're hanging, either straight up and down or diagonal like that. And then what I'm gonna do is just line it up perfectly without touching the wall with it. Kind of make sure that it feels flush with both of my fingers without squishing the foam. And then I'm gonna press it into the wall. And we're good. All right, all 4 corners, press them in, and we're good. That looks nice. What do you think, Ryan? That's my little helper, Ryan. Stop the video, bud. All right, so now we're gonna do a time lapse. Ryan's gonna help me with this project, and we're gonna show you what it looks like at the end. So this next part's gonna be really, 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 really fast, right, Ryan? Yeah. Okay. So there you have it. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you found it helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you thought it sucked, give me a thumbs down and let me know in the comments below what I can do to improve. Either way, I do hope you join me on Twitch Tuesday and Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay sneaky, my friends. All right, well, that wraps it up. So, no. All right, so we're at the end of the video, obviously. Stupid. I think my first one was good.
No, no, do not turn, Lagertha. Head straight for it. Full speed ahead. Into the rock.
With my man at my side, there's no island we can't surpass.
Full speed ahead, Lagertha. Hiya. I'm getting an underwater view of this.
Have a lot of wood.
Here we go. Boom!
It just says, I'm gathering a lot of wood.
I said we don't have a lot of wood.
He's like, this is gonna be a problem.